Rico Lewis has quickly emerged as one of football's most exciting young talents. In this video, we'll dive deep into his intriguing game, exploring his strengths and weaknesses, understanding his role on the pitch, and comparing him to one of Manchester City's most experienced defenders, Kyle Walker. Whether you are a fan of City or just love football analysis, this breakdown will give you a closer look at what makes Rico Lewis such a promising football player. Let's first ask ourselves, who is Rico Lewis? The young prodigy was born on November 21st, 2004 in the Greater Manchester area and has been a loyal City fan ever since childhood. Lewis joined City's academy at the age of 11 after getting spotted by club scouts while playing for a local team. There in the academy, he quickly made a name for himself with his versatility, excelling as both a fullback and a defensive midfielder. His impressive performances saw him rise through the ranks, making his debut for City's under-18 team at just 15 years old. It was there where he won the under-18 League Cup and was crowned the Player of the Year. Rico Lewis continued to shine, earning his first team debut for Manchester City's first team on August 13, 2022 against Bournemouth. He scored his first goal for the club on November 2nd, 2022 in a Champions League group stage match against Sevilla at the Etihad. He played a crucial role in Manchester City's historic treble-winning team in the 2022-23 season, featuring in 14 league matches and starting 10. Currently valued at 38 million euros, which I believe is significantly undervalued, Rico Lewis has a contract with Manchester City until 2028. While he has shown a great deal of quality over the years, in my opinion, this is just the tip of the iceberg in what will be a very promising career. We are going to start with one of the most stunning performances I've seen from Rico Lewis early on a couple of years ago in a Carabao Cup match played on December 12, 2022 at the Etihad against Liverpool. Here we can start by showcasing his role in aiding the fluidity in our team, picking up the ball, passing it off, good first touches, good weight on the passes, and just proper play. Remember, he just turned 18 in this clip. Here you can actually tell he's pretty nervous in the game given his faults with his balance. It's expected, it was definitely a huge match. Some more clips of him showcasing his quick combination play, and now my favorite part of the match. This chase down tackle on Mohamed Salah. Now we all know Mohamed Salah is quick, one of the best wingers on the planet, which makes this tackle all the more impressive. Some really important defensive actions here, first with nicking the ball out of Oxlade-Chamberlain's feet, and another one breaking apart a play from an impeding attack. There are multiple ways you can develop a young player. One of the ways is putting him in this free roam type of position, especially if that player is an attacking midfielder, and let him do whatever the hell he wants. There is no plan with this approach, it's just forcing creativity from a young player in difficult situations, or you could put him in a very structured, very disciplined system. That's what Guardiola has been doing for a lot of young players. Rico Lewis is not an exception to this. And in my opinion, it is a very effective way to develop players. You give them a plan, you put them in a system, you tell them their role, and then they can start to integrate their own arsenals here and there throughout their career. It may not seem like much, but participating in those quick little combination plays with Manchester City is extremely important for developing a player like this. Some more passing showcasing his versatility and this play with Riyad Mahrez that I want to highlight. It may not seem like much, but this is what I was talking about earlier, putting a young player in a rigid system like this. Lots of young players pass and do nothing else. Rico, instead, he wants that ball back. It was a poor pass from Riyad Mahrez, but the idea was amazing. Capping off this amazing performance, we can see here that Rico Lewis is definitely very good at drawing fouls already at this age. Not afraid of the tackle either, which is very impressive. What a performance by Rico Lewis against Liverpool, but let's take a look at some clips from something a little bit more recent. The following compilation of footage that I collected is going to be showcasing what Rico Lewis did in August of 2024. Again, we're going to be analyzing a little bit of his game, looking at his strengths, and taking a look at a couple of weaknesses that I found. Let's begin. We start with a cheeky nutmeg on Enzo Fernandez at the bridge. Wonderful stuff. Classic Guardiola player when receiving the ball, opening up the body, something that we see Kyle Walker do with every touch. But this is just simple, beautiful football, ladies and gentlemen. Rico Lewis has 2 West Ham players coming towards him. Good intelligence by Rico Lewis and great assist to Erling Haaland. I have a love-hate relationship with no-nonsense defending. This specific play was justified though, given the speed though. This one against West Ham could have been dealt with a little bit better with better communication instead of just giving the opponent a throw-in so close to our goal. This last one against Manchester United though was the right decision in my opinion. It's all about intelligence when it comes to clearances, ladies and gentlemen. If Rico Lewis is heading in the right direction, and if I were him, I would be screaming at the defenders, I would be screaming at Ederson if no communication was there. One of his deficiencies here, missing the ball completely against West Ham. A bit fortunate to get the ball, but nonetheless, the next chance won't be like this. He has to get his timing a lot better. Wonderful defending with Christopher Nkunku here. I am a bit skeptical of the chasing back unless it was a mistake by a midfielder. The positioning, like Kyle Walker, is a little bit skeptical and needs to improve here on out, especially in the later stages of the season. Right here is just textbook defending by Rico Lewis here on Mohamed Kudus. And again here, great defending versus West Ham. Rico Lewis just brilliant. As you can see, one hell of a player. But if you notice, there was one particular game that was missing that he played recently. Let's take a look at Rico Lewis's performance against Ipswich at home. His first home start this season in front of our fans, and a solid performance to say the least. This right here was a bit cagey. He should have passed the ball to Akanji there for a clearance. Good turn and strength, but the situation could have been avoided in my opinion. Bit slow from Kovacic there as well. Good combination play from Lewis there. The defender's momentum is going left, so a chip pass was actually incredibly intelligent there. Obviously, this was a big talking point, and for obvious reason. Going for power here is always the least efficient choice in my opinion. I would have lifted a pass to the keeper's right since he's diving left, or a quick knee-high shot in the middle since he is diving downwards. He's young. I'm sure the adrenaline rush was massive here. He'll improve next time. I'm 100% sure of it. Good burst of acceleration there from Lewis, playing it simple. Here we see him getting into his favorite inverted position again at the edge of the box. This right here is beautiful intelligence from a young player, something that I love seeing. Great dummy and awareness to go backwards. In this case, the best option here. Again, we see the calmness that we want to see in developing players looking forward, not seeing an option, then simply drawing the defender in before a pass to open up space. Another slight weakness here, albeit a mental aspect, holding onto the ball for far too long. However, the second clip, it may look like the pass is on to Bernardo Silva, but trust me, I've been in this position so many times, it isn't. To get that pass off, you need a little bit of luck. Great dribbling ability and skill to get out of that situation though. Here we can see some more defensive action. Good block here on the cross. We can also see more of his tenacity here to get the ball towards goal. Only option was Erling Haaland, or a dribble or a shot, so no problem there. He is very good on that turn in his new position as well. Wonderful stuff. Probably learned that from Phil Foden. What I like about him is that oftentimes he does keep it simple with the passes, and he does have that ability to be aggressive to win the ball back, something that we don't see in a lot of young players today. Such a great player Rico Lewis is. Wonderful link-up play in dangerous areas. Rico Lewis is certainly not afraid to dribble and take on players, even if it means spinning them into another dimension. Hope all of you are enjoying the video thus far. If you do, please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you are new. Consider it. I would love to have you on board. I recently hit 7,000 subscribers, and now I am on the road to 8,000 subscribers. It would mean the world if you can help me get there. Now let's look at comparing Kyle Walker and Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis and Kyle Walker offer an intriguing comparison between youthful promise and seasoned experience. Walker, a stalwart of Manchester City's defense, is renowned for his lightning speed and physicality, making him a formidable force in one-on-one duels and recovery runs. In contrast, Lewis, though still at the dawn of his career, brings a refreshing versatility to the pitch, seamlessly transitioning between fullback and midfield roles with technical finesse and positional intelligence that belies his age. Tactically, Walker often excels as an inverted fullback under Pep Guardiola, stepping into midfield to aid in ball circulation. Lewis, however, aids a different dimension. His experience in midfield allows him to contribute more dynamically in central areas. Defensively, Walker's game-reading ability and experience makes him an indispensable asset, consistently delivering solid performances in high-pressure situations. Lewis, still honing his aspects to his game, shows great potential to match Kyle Walker's reliability with youth and adaptability on his side. Offensively, Kyle Walker is known for his powerful overlapping runs and precise crosses, contributing significantly to City's attacks. Lewis, however, offers a more intricate approach, linking play and building attacks from deeper positions with a touch of finesse. In summary, while Kyle Walker remains a cornerstone of City's defense with his seasoned skills, Lewis is emerging as a dynamic, adaptable force, poised to inherit the mantle with his own unique style and flair. Their comparison highlights not only the difference in their playing styles, but also the bright future that awaits Lewis as he continues to grow and evolve on the pitch. Pretty interesting if you ask me. I love seeing the comparisons between Kyle Walker and Rico Lewis, especially in footage. But now let's get a little bit deeper. What are the strengths and weaknesses of both players? So, what are some of Rico Lewis's strengths? For starters, his technical ability is through the roof. Being able to solve complex problems on the pitch with his ability to dribble the ball is such an incredible asset at this early age. For a smaller guy, he's actually very aggressive, and as you saw in the previous clips, he's not afraid of the tackle. He can play in multiple positions on the pitch, something that Kyle Walker is not that fully equipped with. One intriguing thing about his game is that he is actually a bit unpredictable at times with his passing and dribbling, and something that I quite like, to be honest. So, what about the strengths of Kyle Walker? The first one I want to talk about is an obvious one, and its strength itself. Walker's physicality is one of the best in the business. His recovery pace is unlike anything we've ever seen in the history of the Premier League. So incredibly rapid, can outpace almost any attacker in the league. His mentality in the biggest games has always been amazing, always stepping up to whichever world-class winger is in his way. His crossing ability has improved so much over the years and is actually a pretty underrated part of his game. There is one underlying massive weakness that both players share. And that weakness is positioning. Both Rico Lewis and Kyle Walker have sometimes been caught out of position multiple times in the minutes they've played. Their decision-making in crunch time counterattacks is a bit lacking. One that comes to mind for Kyle Walker is the goal that we conceded to Chelsea. Strange decision to chase after the wrong attacker, leaving Raheem Sterling wide open on the left for an unchallenged first touch and finish. For Lewis, it was completely leaving Alexander Isak on the back post in a cup match from last season from a cross from Joe Linton. Easily could have been dealt with a lot better with better tracking. As I said before, the mantle has been passed, and we can see it here with two distinct images. Here you can see Kyle Walker in that inverted position against West Ham in our treble-winning season. It creates a sort of 2-3-4-1 type of formation with both Cancelo and Kyle Walker drifting into the midfield to help Rodri. So how does that compare with now? Well, take a look at this. When we look at the game against West Ham last week, it is quite similar that instead of Cancelo and Walker, it's Josko Gvardiol and Rico Lewis drifting into those positions. From all the footage that I've shown you and from all the knowledge that we have about Rico Lewis, it is quite clearly to see that he is a technical player. He's a fantastic player, and it's because of that technical ability that I am so confident that he is poised for greatness, especially in that inverted role. Walker doesn't really have that ability, but he still manages to play well in the system that Pep Guardiola designed for him. Lewis does, and he aids in the fluidity of the squad on that right pocket, linking up play with Savio, with Kevin De Bruyne, with Bernardo Silva, with Haaland, with Rodri, with Ruben Diaz, and of course Manuel Akanji. So that concludes this video. Thank you all so much for watching if you made it this far. Let me know down in the comments down below what you think of Rico Lewis. We definitely saw some really interesting footage and comparisons involving him. We definitely saw his technical ability, we saw his strengths, his weaknesses, and his comparisons with Kyle Walker. The big question is, would I trust Rico Lewis in the big games coming up? The answer, unfortunately for right now, is not a yes. It is almost there, but I still think we need to see more from him. I'm looking at the big games against Arsenal coming up. I'm looking at the big games against Juventus and all those amazing teams where we're going to be playing in the Champions League group stage games. I think in those games, in the Champions League group stage games, that would be a great opportunity for Rico Lewis to showcase his skill and his valor against a tough opposition. Against Arsenal, I'm not 100% sure if we do have Kyle Walker back. I would prefer him for that game or Manuel Akanji, but if Rico Lewis is going to be playing, I am 100% going to back him. Of course, I'm a fan of his. By the way, I played FIFA yesterday and I opened some packs and I packed probably the best player I'm ever gonna pack in my life. I packed Pele, 99 rated Pele. Ooh, that's insane. But you know what else is insane? Rico Lewis's technical ability. I love watching Rico Lewis play football. I can't wait for the international break to be over. We're gonna see him play against Brentford. Let me know down in the comments down below what you thought of this video. And of course, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time.